Guys, how far now? I just saw a tweet on Twitter where one girl said, any small argument or fight, he would ignore me for hours or a day safe. Man, I was so stressed, started losing feelings and stopped caring whether we had spoken or not. I hate it so much. One lady replied, dating emotionally mature men is bliss. One who doesn't let yesterday's fight obstruct today's communication. I have a lot to say. First of all, can we applaud a lot of women? Because like women have this skill of like relaying information, right? But then removing any part that could hint blame towards them. Like they're so good at it. Anybody who sees these two tweets now will be like, oh my god, their boyfriends must be so awful, you know. But then go and meet these boyfriends now and talk to them one-on-one. Ask them how the relationship went. Entirely different picture. Very different picture than what they just painted right now. But it's fine. Let's talk about it. When most women say, we had a small fight and he has been keeping malice for all these days. Small fights, no be like, it's not like an encounter where two of them had issues. She fucked up, right? He got mad. She did not apologize or seem like she was sorry. And he walked away. That's what she means by small fight. Small fight is not like they had a mutual beef and he went. No, it is, I did something he didn't like, right? I didn't see it as a big enough deal for him to be angry, so I didn't apologize. He walked away. Now he's immature. That's what the whole small fight thing is. And when the second woman said emotionally mature men, she means a man who is going to let her get away with her bullshit. There are so many words and phrases that women use to shame men who seem like they have standards. You'd hear her call you a misogynist. You'd hear her call you a sexist. You'd hear her say you body shame women. Like, you'd hear her say you're not a real man. You hear her say you're not emotionally mature. You would hear all those words being thrown around. And whenever you hear it, make sure you actually ingest what she said and listen. Like, ask yourself, because be honest, right? You have to be honest. Ask yourself if you are actually those things. When she says it, ask yourself, like, self-observe. Ask yourself if you truly are those things or she's just saying it to shame you. The second woman is basically asking for a man who she can offend, right? Go to bed, wake up, and everything is gone. Like everything is done. He forgets that the previous day happened, right? But the reality is, if she was the one who was offended, he wouldn't hear the last of it. He just wouldn't. A lot of women just have this mentality where they expect men to take everything. Now, I 100% believe that as a man, you should be able to control your emotions. Don't get super annoyed or super pissed or super sad. Don't shout, right? But at the same time, men are human beings. We're not brick walls. We're not cement bags. You're not going to keep on punching or poking at a person, at a man, and tell him to not react because, oh, are you not a man? I go blow you from out. One thing a lot of women don't understand is, us as men absolutely hate disrespect. We really do. And there's no worse disrespect, right, than disrespecting a man. That is, doing something that is already offensive to him, then ignoring what you did and getting mad that he got mad, that you got him mad. There's absolutely nothing worse than that. A lot of women don't get that the bigger offense is not necessarily what you did, but the fact that you think he should not be offended, that you offended him, is the bigger offense. Like, it is more that's at least 5 times more disrespectful than whatever it is you did. Because men know they carry things for mind. Like 90% of men, right? If you fuck up and you say sorry, like even if it's a loose sorry, he softens up a little bit. Like that's how men are, right? But even that little gesture of just sorry, women know if you do one, they absolutely can't do it. I don't care who is my biggest crush. Okay, I don't have the biggest crush again, but when I've been this small, my biggest crush was Megan Fox. I don't care if you're Megan Fox. If you fuck up too many times, I go air you, I go leave you. Like, there's no Jesus Christ. Like, us as guys need to be able to look at the holistic picture of a relationship, right? Would you rather have a girl that doesn't respect you, but you're getting knacks once, or lose her entirely and have her respect you from a distance? Like, you have to understand. You have to have that picture at the back of your mind when you're dealing with women. You cannot settle for a disrespectful woman in your life. You can't. Because eventually she'll get tired and she'll cheat on you. Men are built to be violent. It doesn't sound politically correct to say that. People don't want to hear it. But that is the truth. Our build is one of a violent human being. Men are built to be violent. So when you piss a man off and he walks away because he no one day violent, he wants to be on his own, right? If you know you're not going to tell him sorry, just shut up. Shut up and stay on your own. You don't want him to be violent, obviously, right? And then you don't want him to go away and vent. What do you want him to do? You're not going to apologize, but you're not going to let him be. What do you want him to do? A lot of women in the comment section said they expect their man to be able to meet them and communicate with them and tell them, I'm angry with what you did. I don't like that you did this thing, before walking away. Women would do anything but say sorry. Just say sorry. Why are you waiting for him to come and tell you XYZ? You know you offended him. It's like you're giving men these standards to follow. When you can just say sorry. You're saying he should have said this and he should have freaking apologize. Just say you are sorry. No, they rather not do that, right? They rather give you hoops to jump through. Say this and say that because you're a real man. Just say sorry, real woman. What is crazy is, number one, the more you express yourself, the less she takes you serious, the more she begins to disrespect you. And number two, the more you try to express yourself, the easier it is for her to pick offense. Just one line. When you're explaining yourself that she doesn't like, she's going to latch onto that line and she will never forget it. She'll always remind you, oh, you remember when you told me this thing? And then at the same time, she also looks at, like, when you also complain, she's like, is it everything that you're complaining about? So you really can't win. What I would advise men to do whenever a woman pisses them off is this. First of all, understand a woman's nature. Women are not the most empathetic people when it comes to men. They just aren't. Instead of most women to think about how you are feeling, what they are thinking about is how they think you should be feeling instead. Like, in their head, they're thinking of how they think is the right way for you to feel, rather than how you're actually feeling. That's how they think, right? All you can do as a man is understand if the disrespect is actual disrespect or she's just joking, right? If she's joking, you let it slide because you can't get mad at everything. But if she genuinely disrespected you, you know it is disrespectful to you, then draw the line. You either overtly tell her that you don't like what she did, right? Which I would advise to do only in early stages. But if she keeps on doing it, stop talking. For real, stop. Like, let your actions do the talking. If she doesn't see through your actions, when a relationship go end, let it end, right? But let your actions do the talking. You cannot be treating a girl that you love with love, right? And she doesn't respect you. So you can't be calling her as much. You can't be texting her as much. You can't be giving her as much attention. People say, oh, you're punishing her. Call it whatever you like. Call it whatever you like. You cannot condone disrespect. Like, you can't be getting continually disrespected and acting the same way in the relationship. That's absolute madness. And whatever woman says, oh, you're punishing her, let her see what she wants to say. Say sorry. You don't want this stuff to happen. Apologize. If you don't apologize, get out. Give her space to think. If she eventually starts coming around and seeming sorry, then it's good. If she doesn't come around, that's the wrong girl for you, right? Because guys always like to play peacemaker. Sometimes don't play peacemaker. Let her play peacemaker. Play peacemaker. Once you make it a habit to let disrespect slide, right? To always be the bigger man. To always be the guy who goes to say, I'm sorry. Even when you're not the one at fault. It becomes a routine, it becomes a trend, and you are stuck in a relationship where you are never right, regardless of what you do. If you give human beings an inch, they will take a mile. I have said it at least 400 times on this channel. I think the next video you should watch is my old video called Never Overreact to Women. Click on the box on the screen or the second link in the description. Watch that video and I'll see you guys in the next one. Go be.